is to fit the distributor, and there's two timing marks on these. The earlier ones had a timing mark on the front pulley, a V slot, and the later ones have a hole in the going into the flywheel from the engine mounting flange, like you've seen me doing on the gold belly and both gold bellies. So let's just see if we can make sense of what's going on here first. I just threw this back on this rocker shaft, I haven't done valve clearance or anything like that, won't do it yet, just to see what's going on. Right, so we'll give it a few turns there, make sure everything's okay. Okay, see if we can start seeing which cylinder's doing what. Okay, so this is intake, so this could be on the firing stroke soon now. There we go. So that's on the firing stroke there, right? So 1, waiting for exhaust, 3, waiting for intake, bang, and then out the exhaust. 1, 3, 4, intake, exhaust, number 2, intake, bang, and exhaust. Number 1, intake, exhaust. Okay, so 3, intake, exhaust, 4, intake, exhaust, 2, intake, exhaust, 1. So now what we do is we get a 1/4 inch punch, or whatever, roughly 1/4 inch to say, and as we're turning the engine, I'm going to bring you back a bit so you can see the whole picture. As we're turning the engine, we attempt to put this into the slot there. Okay. There we are. Oh, that's not right. Intake. There. There's a few different holes in the flywheel. So let's go through again and make sure we're right. Exhaust. 3. Intake. Exhaust. 4. Intake. Exhaust. 2. Intake. Exhaust. And then 1, intake, there we go, intake, so there. Okay, so by rights, that is our timing mark. Okay, there is, as I said, there is a few different, I think there's 3 or 4 holes. I think there's definitely 3 anyway. So we'll just see if we can fit the distributor. So boom, boom, boom. It turns anti-clockwise. God above, the difference in this distributor is savage. Okay, so there we go, and that is pointing in the direction of cylinder number 1. Okay, so our points then start to open. Then to set your timing, you go back the way. So we'll be putting timing light on this, but if you were stuck, you could actually get it running if you didn't have a timing light by just twisting it. Try and bring you down a bit closer there. If you were stuck, if you watched take off the old rotor. So what I'm saying is this is going anti-clockwise, right? This is cam turns. So what you do is there's the cam there, that's going to open the points when it turns, right? So I'm actually able to turn it a bit there if it's on the advance, yeah. So what we do is if we were in the field and we had this new distributor and ours had broken off and into a million pieces or whatever, and to the point where we just came back to the tractor with a distributor, a replacement distributor, what you'd do is you'd watch those points, right? So watch them, and you would turn until they just start to open. So you'd be talking somewhere around there, and you tighten up all your bits. And that would be the best you could do for the time being. So with that in mind, we can start fitting on the brackets and stuff like that. I think yeah, that's where we're at now basically with that. So good stuff. Okay, so regardless of whether we're going to take the cylinder head off this or not, it's something I do have to give a bit more thought to. We can put all of this back on anyway because we have it locked in the timing position there now, so it's the best time to do it. So may as well get that much done. Lovely little fine thread. UNF 7/16. So we'll just fire that on. No sooner do I have it on, I realise I forgot the little advance and retard plate. But that's all right. And that's here. Whichever side has the clearest. There's the clearest one. That was the one that was underneath, you see. So that had probably never seen the light of day, ever. In fact, this is a 55, and June, we're in around between April and June 55, and this distributor is May 55. I think it's fair to say she's the original. So because we know we're in the timing position here, what we can do is we can line that little pointer up exactly in the middle there, and if we go and turn it towards retard, which is clockwise, we turn it towards advance anti-clockwise with the same direction that the cam is turning. We can, we can fine tune if we have to, and we can always go back to the 0. So that's pointing right there at the 0. So it's a nice little reference to have. You don't need to go crazy tightening. Okay, so we can drop the distributor. Should be ready for distributing again. Back down in there, everything's cleaned up, and I know I do probably go a bit mad with the cleaning and wire brushing and the Dremels and all of that, but when things fit together so well, when you're putting them back together, it really does make it worth it. I think we're down in it there, are we? Now we're in it. Okay, so yeah. Just about up there, I'd say. Not that it's going to matter because we'll be doing a compression test and all on this, like so. We don't need to go tightening up this or anything like that. We can leave it all. Loose. But for now, at least, we'll just put back on the cap. Keep all the dirt out of there, so that whatever we do decide to do, everything will stay nice and clean. Okay. Maybe that was a bit premature putting the part on the tractor when we're still in the middle of stripping it down, but it sure does look good, doesn't it? Lovely stuff. Yeah, so we won't go fitting the coil or anything like that one, but I was just, I suppose, curious to see how that would work. And it's good to see that the distributor is not turning there, that the bearing's good on it, then it's not actually turning the distributor. Right, okay, so there we go. That finishes off the video on the distributor. We will be obviously doing a timing video where we'll be doing some of that again, just putting on a timing light there and twisting the distributor, and when the light goes out, you'll see it anyway. I've done it plenty of times before. That'll time it properly for us. So where to next? I suppose out with the rocker shaft. I won't bother videoing that because we've already videoed that. And I think what we might have to do, because I've stolen a roll of kitchen paper from the house, I think it's probably time to start cleaning this down with diesel and a brush down to the sump, and turning over the engine with the handle a few times, get all that worked through, and or I could do a compression test the way it is right now. Maybe that would be an idea. Maybe that would be an idea. Put the starter in, do a compression test, and that'll tell me then, do you take off the head or do you leave it? Because there's no point in taking off the head if the compression's good for a bit of dirt that's on top of it. We'll wash it all down to the sump, clean out the strainer, clean out the sump, and put in new oil. Okay, maybe that's what we'll do. We'll throw on the starter. Okay, let's try it. Throttle's wide open on the carb, which is, I've realised it's not moving free, and it has to move free for the governor to work, but that's, I want to get another carb anyway. We have all of the plugs out, as you've seen, and we have our compression tester in. So what am I looking for? I suppose ideally anything above 70, 75 would be ideal, 80, you know, in or around about that. There's a young lad going past with a 2-stroke engine on a motor, on a push bike, that makes an almighty racket. Anyway, we're going to make a bit of racket here as well. So hopefully, now the gold belly was very low. It was between 40 and 60, 240s, and then there was 260s. So that turned out grand after we did the cylinder head. So if this is low, cylinder head is off. So let's give it a go. Genie Mac 100. Jesus, that's higher than my own gold belly. Wow. That's impressive. That is impressive. 100. That's perfect. How the hell is that 100? That's a TVO engine. I would have thought the petrol then being higher compression that you'd get 100. Be hard to probably put this somewhere that you can see, but we'll make sure to obviously show you it. But 100 is unbelievable. It's better than my gold belly. My gold belly is 82. Okay, so number 2. $100. Okay. This engine was out before, I can see that, because I can see there's different bolts in the bell housing. 100 is unbelievable, lads. Gee, I'm very, very, very impressed. That's textbook, like, that's the kind of stuff you see written in a book, like, you know, about it. Right, let's give number 3 a go. Okay, so we're at 50, 60, 70, 50, 60, 70, 80, 80, probably 83, a little bit low there, but still fantastic. I mean, you know, as I said, my gold belly, I was told, hasn't done up engine it, mind you. I don't think you can really trust anyone until you go and do it yourself, or you know yourself what people to say to sell things. Anyway, number 4. Just shy of 100. So that is fantastic. Okay, so I'm just going to throw a drop of oil down them as well now, and we're going to see if that improves it. Well, I can't see it improving at 100. I mean, 100 is, it's brilliant. Let's wait till this takes a few pumps to get a go. Let that slosh around in there. 3 pumps each. See does it improve. It sounds like the starter's a little bit. I need to work on the front bearing of it. I think it's a little bit screechy. I think it's the one bushing probably. Yeah, it's actually after going up even a slight bit more. Wow. Healthy engine, lads. I wish my gold belly was putting out this compression. Right. $100 on the nose. So the owner right now should be cracking open a tin of nice cold beer, because I'm telling you one thing, that is savage compression. I will be over the moon with that. So this is the one that was a little bit low. So we're going to give this a good spin. I know it's upside down there, but we'll show you. We'll show you. Right. It's done. Pressure off. Sometimes forget to do that. That's why I'm doing it the second time. Okay, so it's come up from 80 to 90. It's 83 or 4 to 90. So yeah, I have a feeling, to be honest with you, a bit of use, it'll come up. Like, just needs a little bit of lubrication, needs a bit of work, a bit of running, get those rings lubricated up again. That could have been the one that, where the engine was stopped. It always stops at a compression stroke, or you know, it could have been a valve open inlet or whatever, exhaust, letting a bit of moisture in there, little, you know, so it kind of could be something as simple as that. Right, number 4. $100 on the nose. I mean, this is savage. So 3 cylinders of 100, one is 90, 83 dry, 90 wet. So you give or take 10%. So it's within the amount, you know, that you're looking for. Is the starter hot? No, good. So yeah, that is. I'm over the moon for it now, so that is brilliant. Really, really, really good, like. Yeah. So I think my mind is made up. Try and clean the head as best as possible. Flush it down, because there's no need to take that head off to do valves. You've seen it yourself. Yeah, so it reminds me of that comedy that used to be on TV. I don't know if it's still on. They're probably re-showing it. And One Foot in the Grave. I don't believe it. So that is brilliant. I don't believe it. Great news. So let's put the push rods in order here, from 1 to 8. Give these a wash in the parts washer then. Oh, yes. Oh yeah, boy. Right, we'll have to do a new hole for that. Stay. Yeah, so It's all good news. Lovely. And then we'll start cleaning and we'll start flushing out. Okay, that needs another hole. Number 5 is not happy. Oh, yeah, boy. Okay, we'll throw that in, put these over, keep them safe and in order, and sure, we might start cleaning it. Okay, we're just loosening things off here, and already we're getting a little bit of drippage. It's very watery. But look, it's okay. So I'm just going to use the gun just to whip them off. Okay, so the stud came out of that one. I prefer the stud to stay in the bottom at least anyway. Okay, number 2. You know, sometimes I think you're better off using a 13mm on some of these. The 1/2 inch just grabs them a little bit too much, especially when there's paint on them. That is very thin oil, but look, it's alright. Hasn't made a whole lot of difference to the compression anyway. Try and get all of them washers off so I don't have to go fishing them out. Okay. We'll let that do its thing there for a minute. Let's see what condition this strainer's in. We'll give it a wash, the parts washer. Okay, not too bad. A little bit out of shape. Won't make a difference. Actually grand. I'm just going to run straight over to the parts washer with this to stop it dripping everywhere. There's nothing wrong with that oil. Like I say, one thing, you can smell the kerosene from it. In fact, I hardly use paraffin, hardly going back that long, but you can definitely smell it off anyway. So that's brilliant. So now we can start the cleaning. Now, so let that drip. I think turning over the engine every now and again as well is going to help get all of that. I have my diesel in the can there, and I'm just going to have to get a stiff paintbrush and just start painting on diesel. Okay, so I got the air gun as well at the end, and I just literally started trying to get any flaky stuff away as well, you know. But it's cleaned up lovely. It still looks dirty, but a lot of that's just nearly as if the colour of the casting of the metal. But we'll just give the last bit a bit of I know I should have gloves on, but you can kind of feel better with your fingers where the stuff is lurking. You can feel when you're down to the casting. These kind of degreaser wipes kind of smell like oranges, so it's not too bad. Mind you, I like the smell of it anyway. I like the smell of that whole fuel and stuff. Oh yeah, this will clean up lovely. So we got a good stiff brush and loosen everything up, and put a big dirt kind of a towel along here, and I just blew everything over to it and caught it, because this is the area that we don't really mind, you know, getting dirty like. So when we down this far now, we can also just make sure all of these, I think 1 or 2 of these is loose. The studs for the rocker shaft. It's important that all of that's clean there as well, so that the rocker shaft sits nice and level on it. So this is just the last little wipe down. And actually do the tops of the valves and all that. Unbelievably baked onto it. Clean up lovely. So we definitely don't have any stuck valves in here. That's another good thing from that compression test. And we also have to, just as an oil gallery here in the last number 4 there cylinder, and that runs down to, gets oil up from below, so that's important as well. Okay. I'll just use the last bit of the degreaser in this now, just to give everything a little. You'll have heard me go on about degreaser wipes before. They're bloody handy, they're very handy. Now, okay. So look, that is going to be good enough. It's not going to be massively fussy. Just the air gun now did a great job. I know it's dated as well. They're 9/6/55. 9/6/55. The back end 25/6/55. Distributor 5th of May, so 5th of 5th 55, and the engine 1st of April. So the engine block was casted a good bit before 9/6/55. Isn't that interesting? All different workshops and all different shops, and they all then assembled them then. Okay, so I just want to get a bit of wire. I'm going to show you here first what I'm at. I have run the whatchamacallit down, the air gun down. There's a little hole just there. It's hard to get you in very close enough to see it. But I'm just going to get a bit of wire and we'll give that a poke down to make sure it's clear. Yeah, I'd be the kind of person that would lift the cylinder head, you know. But there really is no need on this engine, like, you're getting that sort of compression, you know. I don't know how far that's meant to go down. I know that it does take oil up from below, like. Judging by the amount of oil that was up here, I don't think there was any issue. But if it was sitting for a long time, it could be blocked. I'm doing that. There is bits coming up out of it. Yeah. I suppose it just depends. I suppose the longer it was left, more chance that oil is gone thick. I don't know. Is it straight down? I'm trying to think. It should be. Is it straight down, or does it go off here? I think it goes off here, does it? It goes down to there. So that's probably why it's not. Maybe that bolt there is a way into it, is it? It is. Say so, yeah. And it goes down there, yeah. That's it. Yeah, actually, that's it. It's on the casting there. It goes down there. So. That's why it's not poking down. Ah, yeah, but sure, look, we're going to take it's working anyway because of the amount of oil that was up there. And we'll keep an eye on it when we do get it running. We'll keep an eye and make sure that everything is oiled. Okay, so I'm just going to do a final check on the torque here. Make sure we're all okay. 88 Newton meters, 65 foot-pounds. Did you try that one already, did you? Or did you? For this one here. There we are. 88 Newton meters. Lovely. Loosen off the tension in this thing before I put it away. I have to remind myself that the whole time. Right, next job on the list. I noticed some of these were a little bit loose. So I give them, I know there's no, like using vice grips, so we'll just get a little nip on them there. Lovely. Straight back in, give it a wipe with a rag first. So that one there. Take that one out. Okay. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Hopefully that's the last we have to use the vice grips. I hate using them. Okay, so I'm going to leave this video now here so that I can do the valve clearance in a separate video. So we'll talk to you then.